And we're back. We're much more used to this angle, right? I'm sorry to have thrown you for a loop for the past couple of weeks as KGW Comic Pick of the Week is changing its set and changing the location where it shoots, but I really appreciate you sticking around. But I'm back in front of my lovely wall that will soon have shelves and all sorts of nerd stuff and Easter eggs and stuff on it, and I can't wait for you to see it. But for now, I'm here to chat about comics. So without further ado, let's talk comics. And this week we'll only be reviewing one book. That's Stargazing by Jen Wang. And I was so excited to read this book because I read one of her other books, The Prince and the Dressmaker, and it was truly one of the most touching stories I've read all year. And I loved it so much. And so when I got this in the mail, I was really, really excited. And Stargazing does not disappoint. It is just so touching, and it's for middle readers, and the protagonists in this book are both, I think, sort of tweens, sort of at that sort of coming of age sort of age. But that doesn't mean that a gal in her mid-20s, thank you, will not have anything to glean from this. I think that the message that this book sends, which is largely one of understanding your own worth and what makes you special and surrounding yourself by people who make you feel special and understand that you're special, is a message that can go to anybody of any age. So I felt really enriched by reading this book, and I immediately want to give it to a child so they can read it and also be enriched by it. This book came out Wednesday, so if you haven't been to your comic book store yet, run, go. I suggest Floating World Comics at 400 Northwest Cooch Street, and pick up this book and give it a read. It was so lovely and so wonderful. It follows these two protagonists who are very, very different. They're both young Asian girls who are probably, I would say, preteen age. Moon comes from a Buddhist family and is allowed to express herself however she wants. She paints her nails, she dances to music. She has all these really passionate, hobbies that she really loves, and she becomes friends with everyone she meets because she's so charismatic. And then you have Christine, whose family is a lot more reserved. And they go to church often. She goes to Chinese lessons to sharpen her Chinese language skills. She plays the violin. And her family is portrayed as definitely what you may think of as a sort of typical Asian family. And so reading this book was not only about learning about what makes you special and keeping around people who understand that specialness, but also learning about your own culture through other people who live it differently. And I thought that was a really awesome thing to read. I am very white, but I'm a quarter Japanese. I'm very removed from that culture in my own life, and this talks about Chinese culture specifically, but I think it was so interesting to read about that, to sort of be a fly on the wall through this depiction of it, and I thought that was really sort of illuminating. And I think that the thing that makes this book so special is that it really taps into the ability of kids, just resilience to being judged, I guess. Moon is so herself, and she helps Christine find herself, and I think that's so wonderful. And even the things that kids do that are kind of crazy, imaginary friends and fanciful drawings and things that we kind of lose into adulthood, that sort of freedom written into these characters is so refreshing to read. I think we lose a lot of that creativity, and some of the things that we thought made us special as children don't follow us into adulthood. So I would definitely recommend you pick up this book, Stargazing. I really, really enjoyed it. And if you haven't read The Prince and the Dressmaker, please pick up that as well. Such a wonderful, lovely book. I haven't read IRL, but I'm very excited to. So far, what I've read of Jen Wang has been so poignant and so great about talking about social issues that will affect kids this age, that affects everybody, but putting it into a story that is so approachable and so lovely and understanding. I can't rave about it enough. It was so good, and I hope you read it, and I hope you give it to a kid in your life so they can be enriched by it, and then I want you to tweet me about it. Here's my Twitter. Tweet me. I would like to hear about what you thought about it. And I think it's important, not that I need to say this to people who are already into comics, but it's okay to read stuff for middle readers. In fact, a lot of really great stories are told for middle readers. And I think as adults, we shouldn't shy away from enjoying that kind of content as well. So pick up this book, Stargazing by Jen Wang. Give it a read. I enjoyed it so much. I read it in an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours. I was breezing through it because I was so excited to read it, so excited to see what was happening to Moon and Christine's friendship. I love the dichotomy between them, and I love that they have so much love for one another, and I think that's so, so special. And if you have a best friend, buy this book for your best friend and read it together and tell them that you love them. I'm gonna text my best friend right now. So I have a short one for you this week that I really appreciate. Like I said, you sticking around as we're in flux here, and I can't wait to show you the big wall when it is completely finished. I have lots of great footage of us painting it, pictures of my dog who's supervised. It's going to be great. Also, I have a couple of interviews coming up this week for Rose City Comic Con, and I can't wait to share that with you guys too. And I'll be taking you along on the Rose City Comic Con adventure, so you'll definitely want to follow my Twitter for that kind of stuff. You may also want to follow my Instagram. I post on my stories, and it will be interesting Rose City Comic Con stuff this weekend. Usually it's like plants and dogs and like face care, journalism, you know, my other hobbies. But I'm excited to go to Rose City Comic Con, see all the great cosplayers, all the amazing artists and creators who will be there this weekend. So if you're gonna be there, shoot me a tweet. If you're gonna be there in cosplay, I would love to take your photo and put it on kgw.com. And I'll be creating a video about it as well, so you can check back on this channel to see how the weekend went. I hope you guys are having a great week. That's all I have for you. I will see you guys next week, same-ish time, same place. And until then, this has been KGW's Comic Pick of the Week.